Well, the process to select a new Speaker of the House comes to day 4 now, and still there's no consensus that has been reached.
No member-elect having received the majority of the votes cast, a Speaker has not been elected. The House stands adjourned until 10 p.m. tonight.
So that's where we stand. 10 p.m. tonight, they'll reconvene and keep going through the process. But Republicans in the House continue negotiations. They're trying to get a new rules package that could pave the way for the Speaker to finally get 218 votes, which of course is the threshold he needs to become the Speaker. Joining me now to discuss this and more is one of the Republicans who are spearheading this whole effort, my good friend, U.S. Representative Andrew Clyde. He serves on the House Committee on Homeland Security and also on the House Committee of Oversight and Reform. He represents Georgia's 9th Congressional District. Congressman Clyde, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Well, thank you, Jody. It's always good to be with you. Good to speak with you again.
Well, it's great to have you back on the program. Listen, overall, your reactions to the events that are shaping up today.
Well, you know, I think this is a good thing. This is what a constitutional republic looks like. You know, people might think on television it looks like chaos on the floor, but it's not. You know, this is what fighting to fundamentally change Washington, D.C. Really ends up being. You know, I came to Washington just as you did, Jody, when you served here in the House. We came to change the way this place operates because it's broken, and everybody knows that it's broken. And when you have an opportunity to make fundamental change to that system, to the way it operates, you take it, you know, because we cannot allow the status quo to continue, you know, if not now, then when? If not us, then who? Congress is famous for kicking down the road.
Well, let me ask you this, Andrew, because you bring up a great point there. Washington is broken. I mean, you've said that, we've said that, everyone across the nation is aware of that. And yet what you and so many others have been trying to do is change a rules package, which in essence would change the way Washington operates. So what can you share about the ongoing negotiations? Where are we in all of this right now?
Well, you know, I think we have a good agreement in place. The only way I would have changed my vote to vote for Kevin McCarthy is if we actually had a substantial agreement in place that would fundamentally change the way we operate here and would empower the individual members of Congress to better represent their people and to more balance the power between the Speaker and the membership, where we can get to things like regular order, where bills have to go through committees and get debated on before they go to the House floor, and not be like this omnibus that we saw last December that you and I both voted against, which came to the floor by the Speaker, by Nancy Pelosi, over 4,000 pages and not one solitary opportunity to amend it. We just had to up or down vote it. And that can never be allowed to happen under a Republican majority. And that's what this fight is all about, empowering the membership to better represent their constituents.
Well, yeah, and that bill you referenced, not only, we didn't even have time to read it. It was just when you dropped 4,000 pages in the last few moments. But listen, so you're pleased with the way the current negotiations are going to change some of the rules? Let me ask you this, Andrew, because there's a lot of talk out there. All you have to do is turn on television, and the left-wing media is just screaming how unhealthy this process is. I personally take a different view. I think this is a healthy process. I believe this is the way it's designed to work. We have debate, we work through issues, and we come to a consensus. In your opinion, why is this a healthy constitutional process that you all are currently going through?
Oh, you're absolutely right. This is 100% healthy. This is the way it's supposed to operate, because here you have, a very close representation between Republican and Democrat, where Republicans have 222 and Democrats have 212. And here is an opportunity for where we have an opportunity for the people or for the representatives, the conservative Republican representatives, to use leverage to bring the House back to a more conservative state, to better represent what is our base, which is the conservative base. And that's why it's so important.
Andrew, I know you've got to go. You're on a hard break. We've got about 30 minutes before, or 30 seconds before we promised we'd let you go. But before we do so, just real quickly, the president's making a trip to the southern border this weekend. Just real quickly before you go, what would you like to see him take away from this trip?
Well, I'd actually like him to make it to the border for once. Yeah, I don't think he's been to the border ever. And so for him to actually see what's going on in person, I think is so important. But he's got to have his eyes open, and he can't be asleep. So he's got to really, really, see what's going on, and he's got to understand it. And I'm hoping that will make an impact on him.
Well, Andrew Clyde, Georgia's 9th Congressional District, thank you so much for joining us this evening on Washington Watch. Thanks for all you're doing and for coming on, keeping us informed.
Thanks, Jody. Always good to be with you.